Yo, yo, yo! What it do? Yes, sir, man. This your boy AJ. I'm back at it again with a brand new video, man. Y'all know what's going on. Yes, sir, man. I know I haven't been dropping lately, man. We just gonna get into it today. Today. I want to talk about what this weak ass nigga Drake has done, man. Now, y'all already know about him suing Universal and suing Kendrick Lamar over the Not Like Us song, saying that he had bots and all that type of stuff going on. And they saying that his song was artificially inflated to blow up. Now, before I give out how I feel about this whole situation with Drake and this lawsuit and all that, we is gonna check out these videos, man, about this whole situation so y'all can get caught up to speed. As we know, Drake has dropped 2 lawsuits against Universal and Kendrick Lamar over the song Not Like Us, defamation of character, and more charges when it comes to the lawsuit. Now, I got this news article that Hip Hop DX brought out. You know, shout out to them. And it's Charlamagne the God. He went in on Drake about the lawsuit. As it says right here, he's saying that Drake is being a hoe about this whole situation. So this is right here saying, speaking on the Breakfast Club on Monday, Charlamagne outlined his feelings on Drizzy's allegations that the music giant used payola and streaming bots to boost the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us, as well as his claim of defamation because of the song's content. If you know, you know. You know the reason why he's suing for that. But anyway, we get to it. It says, I told you Drake was going to sue. He's a multi-billion-dollar entity. No multi-billion-dollar entity is going to allow you to call him a pedo or sex offender and not take some sort of legal action, he began. The radio host went on to warn that Drake could be opening a can of worms because of things he said on his own diss tracks. The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman, which is Kendrick's wife, Whitney Alford, because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and best friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's children. Now, if you remember that this song that Drake dropped, I can't remember. I think that was Family Matters. If I ain't mistaken, that was Family Matters. And Drake said some things on that song that Kendrick himself can sue him for defamation of character. But Kendrick didn't do that, now did he? Kendrick ended up dropping literally one of the biggest diss songs of the last 20th century. Not Like Us. And it blew up like a time bomb. You know what I'm saying? So Drake calling himself trying to sue Kendrick, in my humble opinion, it's a bitch move. Excuse my French. But it was a bitch move. Why? Because the same thing that you saying about Kendrick could be said about you, Drake. The same thing. The exact same thing could be said about you, Drake. You know what I'm saying? So Drake trying to do this here, he's opening a can of worms that he really don't want to open, because you think you exposing Kendrick, but you really gonna mess around and get your own self exposed behind this. So, in the rest of the article, it says, so if you're going to accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation. Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige. Damn. And yes, he do got a video, and we gonna watch the video about Charlamagne going in, because he made Drake his donkey the other day. But before we get to that, we gonna check out this video on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to CNN. They actually did a little music video, not music video, but a clip on Drake and everything that's happened. As you know, everything that I do and use is after the fair use. So we finna go and get into it. I ain't finna waste no time. We finna go and check this video out. Let's get it.
The hip-hop equivalent of asking to speak with the manager. Rapper Drake turning his feud with Kendrick Lamar into a legal fight. In a court petition, his lawyers are accusing Universal Music Group of using tactics like bots to artificially inflate K-Dot's diss track, Not Like Us, on radio and Spotify. And the labels of both artists are divisions of UMG. The UMG denied the claims in a statement to CNN, and they added, no amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that the fans choose the music they want to hear. So it's like that. And the headlines for Drake have been brutal. From Drake and the Art of Extending an L to Billboard straight up asking, can Drake regain his credibility?
Damn.
Music journalist Sumia Krishnamurthy is with us now. She's also the author of Fashion Killer, How Hip Hop Revolutionized High Fashion, and the upcoming book, Rockefeller Records, An American Rap Dynasty. Thank you for being on with me. Let me start here with, is Drake whining, or does he have a plausible case here?
This is definitely a case of whining. When you look at the origins of hip hop, the competitive spirit is so intrinsic. And in one of the biggest rap battles we've ever seen in our lifetime, who would have thought it would potentially end in a courtroom? It's unprecedented.
Let me read here from this petition, and it's not a lawsuit, so I want to be clear about that. It's just a petition, potentially pre-action, but this is page 5. Drake's attorney claims that UMG had a deal with Apple. Quote, online sources reported that when users asked Siri to play the Certified Lover Boy album by Drake, Siri instead played Not Like Us, which contains the lyric certified pedophile, an allegation against Drake. When I first read that, it sounded like Trump saying that the Dominion voting machines were changing Trump votes to Biden votes. But what are these online sources? How prevalent were these reports?
And you know what's crazy about this whole situation? You know what's so fucked up and crazy about this whole situation with Drake? Remember 5-6 months prior, before Drake and Kendrick really got deep in their beef? J. Cole dropped his diss. He dropped 7-Minute Drill. Everybody was so mad at Cole for dropping that diss. You know what I'm saying? People didn't like the diss song. There's some people that liked it, but there was a lot of other people that didn't like the diss song. And literally probably maybe like a week after, he dropped the diss, he goes on his Dreamville festival and apologized to Kendrick on live fucking stream. He apologized to Kendrick Lamar to dropping that diss song. Not only apologizing, he backtracks it and take it off the fucking Might Delete Later album. Everybody and their mama was roasting Cole, calling him J-Fold and saying that he could never say he this and that again. He ain't part of the big three and all this shit. And I watched it all unfold. Now you see Drake suing over a song. You see Drake suing Kendrick and UMG over Not Like Us. You tell me who really lost in the battle. But let's get back to the video.
Said it was changing what's played.
So I'm going to be honest, I actually did the test during this time, and it did work. When you said, hey, Siri, play Certified Lover Boy, it did play Not Like Us.
Really?
It did, yes. I actually posted a video on my YouTube and social media.
Damn.
But I think we all knew that it was pulling from the lyrics. So I think Apple could have an argument. People were searching for that song, or that's what their algorithm was kicking up, because it is not just titles, it's also lyrics. So there's a little bit of nuance there.
Okay. UMG denies the claims, as we said at the top, but the company did settle a payola case for $12 million back in 2006 that claimed that they bribed radio stations and to play their artist. Is it plausible? I mean, and also, if they did this for Kendrick, how prevalent are these practices to say that Drake didn't benefit from these at some other time?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of industry insiders are saying. It could the entirety of his career, Drake really has enjoyed this privilege, being an industry darling, being the most streamed artist on Spotify for hip hop. Even now, I think the last time I checked, his monthly uniques on Spotify are more than Kendrick. If we go back to 2018, there was a huge campaign where every single Spotify playlist was Drake, whether it was hip hop, pop, country, gospel. So these campaigns by these streaming services or companies, they're not uncommon. But the question is Drake now bitter or whining because he's not the beneficiary?
Exactly. And we ain't really gotta watch no more of this video right here, man. I'm like this here. The same thing that Drake is claiming Kendrick did for that song to blow up using bots and shit, it's the same thing that can be said for Drake himself. Like, come on, man. Drake is literally one of the biggest artists of the 2010s. They literally say he was the biggest artist of the decade. So all them years of hit songs and all this stuff of features, ain't no way in the hell you gonna tell me Drake didn't have no payola behind him. Like, come on, man. And like I said, this whole situation make him look like a bitch, because you suing the nigga over a diss song that destroyed you, bro. Nigga. And another thing, you literally dropped another diss song right after Not Like Us. So if you really felt that way about this, don't you think you would have created the lawsuit after Not Like Us rather than after you done made another diss song? Like, make that make sense to me. Seriously. But anyway, man, we finna check out the Charlamagne the God video of him roasting Drake on the Breakfast Club, man. He didn't hold back. Shout out to the brother Big Ant of the Urban Politicians channel, man. Much love to his channel and to what they got going on, man. So we finna check this out real quick, man. Let's get into it.
Donkey of the day for Monday, December 2nd goes to Aubrey Drake Graham. We was on vacation all last week, so I didn't get the opportunity to properly give Drake the credit he deserves for being stupid. But if you haven't y'all back in May on my Brilliant Idiots podcast, I might have even said it here on Breakfast Club. I don't remember. But I told y'all Drake was going to file a lawsuit. I told you Drake was going to sue. He is a multi-billion-dollar entity. No multi-billion-dollar entity is going to allow you to call him a pedophile or a sex offender and not take some sort of legal action. But here's the thing. The person who has the real defamation case in this situation is Kendrick's woman. Because Drake not only said Kendrick was beating on her, he said that Dave Free, Kendrick's business partner and friend, was the real father to one of Kendrick's kids. So if you're going to accuse somebody of defamation, you must first make sure you too aren't guilty of defamation, okay? Drake saying that Kendrick defamed him is indeed the pot calling the kettle beige, but that's not even why I'm giving him Donkey of the Day, okay? I'm giving him Donkey of the Day because Drake is proving without a shadow of a doubt that he simply doesn't understand culture. I used to debate with my man Glasses Malone. Drop on the clues bombs for Glasses Malone. You can listen to his No Ceilings podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. I used to debate with Glasses when he would say things like, Drake isn't hip hop. He would say Drake is not culture. Glasses would actually say Drake is Madonna. He's pop. He's manufactured. And you know, after this lawsuit, I have to say, I agree. Because Drake doesn't understand how any of this works. Number one, Not Like Us was very popular. Okay, it's still very popular.
Very popular.
It was an instant smash. All right, Not Like Us isn't just a hit record. It's a rare cultural phenomenon. Records like that don't come along too often. Records like that
Right.
can't be programmed. I don't care how much money you spend at radio or on playlists.
Exactly, man. And that's what Drake don't get. Now, I can sit here and say I am not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. I fuck with Kendrick and I don't fuck with Kendrick. I'm not saying that in the bad thing. I just have my choices. I like Cole a little bit more than Kendrick, but that's a whole nother convo I don't want to get into. But anyway, when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, you couldn't deny it. Shout out to DJ Mustard, who actually made the beat. That nigga put that funk on that bitch. He put that funk on that motherfucker to the point where you couldn't deny that song. You couldn't deny that beat. So it didn't even fucking matter. Hell, Not Like Us couldn't. It didn't have to be a diss song. That motherfucker would have still went. It just happened to become a diss song. And truthfully, it kind of destroyed Drake's career. It didn't destroy his legacy, but it destroyed his career for sure. Especially after this lawsuit. This lawsuit, his whole career legacy is done. His whole career is done. His legacy is done after this lawsuit. Even if he wins, he's still done. Because motherfuckers only gonna look at Drake as a culture vulture from now on. Real talk.
Whatever it is, when something is a cultural phenomenon, you can't buy that. Okay, you can't buy culture, Drake. Not Like Us was a cultural identifier for a whole coast. That's what Drake doesn't understand, because Drake is absolutely one of the biggest artists in the world. Okay, he has a cult-like following. Not just a cult-like following, he has some of the most loyal D-riders on the planet. In fact, drop on the clues bombs for Drake's D-riders. There are people amongst us who sit on Drake's penis the way Drake was sitting on the CN Tower on the Views album cover.
Damn.
Okay? But even with Drake's huge fan base, don't think for 1 second, whatever the label UMG was doing to promote, Not Like Us, they were doing the same thing for you your whole career. Okay? If one of those diss records you put out would have taken off and been a cultural phenomenon like Not Like Us, the record label would have pushed that too. How would you be clowning Kendrick right now if Kendrick said, UMG, you didn't have to let Drake put that record out accusing me of beating my lady. You didn't have to let Drake put that record out saying my child isn't really mine. I'm trying to get you to see why you look like a complete and total sucker, Drake. Okay, not to mention, once again, you are a huge artist, but don't believe your own hype too much, because those same tricks you are accusing UMG of doing for Not Like Us, they have done for you your whole career.
Big facts.
Stick with me for 30 seconds and I'll show you the trading strategies that allowed me to quit my full-time job 2 years ago and design a life.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. We back at it.
There was a time when Drake was on the cover of every playlist on the browser page of Spotify. Okay, they did it with Apple too. I think it was called Scorpion Season or something like that. And he took over multiple playlists on the same day. All I'm saying, Aubrey, is stop acting like you haven't been the beneficiary of record label technology. Okay, you being a whole simply because you lost. Simply because Kendrick Lamar kicked your ass lyrically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And anybody acting like this is anything more than Drake's feelings being hurt, you are too. A OV-ho to be exact. Okay? He's fighting the same war that Michael Jackson fought. Drake is taking a stand for the art and the artist. People who are running with that narrative would hold Drake's penis while he pees and shake it for him when he's finished. Okay, Drake has been handling this terribly since Not Like Us dropped. And please, let's keep this in mind. Drake, you're in this position because you tapped out. Okay, you chose to tap out after you heard Not Like Us. It was too much for you because you didn't have to tap out after the Hard Part 6. You could have went in the studio and gave us a bop. You the bop guy. You could have got with some ghostwriters, went in the studio and wrote a hit to combat Not Like Us, but you chose not to.
Exactly.
You tapped out. Kendrick won, and he told you to squabble up, not lawyer up, but you chose to get the lawyers because you lost the squabble.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as I did do a video last week when Charlamagne had went up on Instagram and posted the 500th episode of the Brilliant Idiots podcast from 6 months ago, where he had made the prediction that Drake was going to come back with a lawsuit after the battle had ended and everything like that. And what do you know? Last Monday, the news did break, so he turned all the way up with it and said, I told y'all that this right here was coming. Now, as you heard him say right there, they was off for vacation last week at Thanksgiving, but they popped up today where he could give his full opinion and intellect and description of how he felt about everything. And I had a link in the description where y'all can watch that in full from the Breakfast Club. As he did say a lot more, they spoke on it more in depth and things like that. But I got to keep it all the way 1,000 what Charlamagne said. As far as, you know, breaking it down, the overall message he's saying is all the way 1,000% correct. Drake has filed a petition to go with a defamation suit against the label for Kendrick Lamar's song Not Like Us. But he did the same thing to Kendrick Lamar during this same battle. You talked about this man kids, you talked about this man girl, talked about this man homie, even on the Heart Part 6, even alluded to him being molested. So Drake can do it, but Kendrick Lamar can't. If Kendrick Lamar filed this type of petition to get forward in progress with a lawsuit during this battle, niggas will be killing Kendrick Lamar. They will be killing a nigga like J. Cole. They killed J. Cole for saying he ain't want to rap no more and apologize. Think about if a nigga went through with a lawsuit. If any other rapper...
Exactly. Look how they did Cole when he apologized after dropping 7-minute drill. Hell, I made a video about that. If y'all want to check it out, I'll probably leave it up somewhere in the end of this video. But I talked about Cole and saying that was the #1 rule you don't break in hip hop. You don't drop a diss song and go back on it. When you drop a diss, you got to stand on it. When Kendrick did Not Like Us, he stood on it. When he kicked his verse on Like That, he stood on it. He didn't hold back. Just like how Drake stood on Taylor Made. He stood on Family Matters. But now, since Kendrick did Not Like Us, now he want to act like a hoe. Now he want to sue people. But yet the same shit can be done with you for Kendrick. Because you talked about his wife, his children. Come on, now.
Rapper in this game, Meek Mill, had went with this tactic after the battle was over. It don't matter how much money would be involved, y'all would be calling him a sucker. I'm on the internet every day, nigga. This is what I do. I see how y'all call niggas suckers and lames and chumps for way less. I don't even go that far with it, but this is what y'all do. I'm speaking from a cultural aspect, and this is for those fans who just don't want to call it like it is. You can't try to separate Kendrick Lamar from the lawsuit when it's about Kendrick Lamar's song. You begged him to come out and battle. You dissed his family too. You talked about his kids too. And you went at him as a person as well. He went at you, but his hit a little bit harder. Y'all can call it what y'all want to call it. The labels have always done marketing, pushing music forward, no matter how you slice the pie. But to go to that next level, the people got to vibe with it. You can't force people to get up and start dancing to the song. You can't force it to last that long. You can't force it to be a chant. That has to be there organically. Now, you can put it in people's face. You can program it with the people. They've tried this before with a lot of artists, and it don't work. Kendrick Lamar just happened to be one of them niggas that's that cold, that talented, know how to do this, raised in this, and part of the culture. It is what it is, bro. On top of the fact, let's keep it all the way 100 right here, bro. Niggas just got to know how to separate everything and just use your logic. Be a fan, but this is the culture, my nigga. We have unwritten laws. We have unwritten lifestyles that you just know. You just understand. It don't need to be explained. If you go through this route and you jump out there, this ain't like, oh man, I'm doing something big for everybody now. This is for art. And this is just a fan type of conversation. Oh, this is the Michael Jackson stuff. No, it's not, my nigga. Michael Jackson was buying niggas catalogs.
Exactly.
This is nowhere near the same thing, nigga.
Exactly.
Michael Jackson was buying catalogs. Now, people say, oh, the industry went against Mike. Yeah, that could be another thing, but nah, nigga, they not in the same position right here. Not
exactly. It ain't the same. Michael Jackson had the Beatles catalog. Hell, Michael Jackson had Eminem's catalog at a time. So yeah, the industry was after him, and then eventually he passed away. May Michael Jackson rest in peace, by the way. Michael Jackson was a cold motherfucker. For real. This ain't the same. Drake is a buster. Drake ass mad because he lost a rap battle. Now he want to sue people. Come on, man. He ain't the same.
even on the same level of impact. Now, Drake is a superstar, nigga. Ain't nobody denying that. Ain't nobody denying his talent and relevance in the culture. But to be trying to make this that conversation, no, this ain't that, bro. No matter how it went, no matter how it played out, Drake said he wanted the battle. He begged Kendrick Lamar to rap. He talked about his family too, talked about his kids too, talked about his wife, nigga, and nigga, you did what you did. He came back. His just hit a little bit better. He won the battle. Now, are they trying to sabotage me? Drake has had every single benefit that he allegedly is accusing Kendrick Lamar of in this situation. Everything you alleged on Kendrick Lamar, we seen it happen for you.
Yep.
That's the point of signing a record deal. They're gonna push your music to make it bigger. Now, so I separate the topics of conversation. I'm not here to be delusional. You can be a fan of Drake, dog. There's nothing wrong with that. But we talking about the culture right now. This ain't, the lawsuit is business side of this, but it's based off the culture. It's based off of songs that were for the culture. So at the end of the day, it ties back to what we represent and stand for in this culture. Just keeping it all the way 1,000. Tell me what y'all think. We got Mo.
Yep. That's the truth, man. Shout out to the brother Big Ant of the Urban Politician TV channel on YouTube, man. I will leave the links down in the bottom of the description below. Yeah, man, I'm about to get the F up out of here, man. But before I do, let me tell you how I feel about this situation. This whole situation, man, is sad. Because Drake look like a whole hoe out here. He look like a straight up buster suing Kendrick and Universal over a song. Where everybody named Mammy went off on J. Cole for apologizing for making a diss song. Now, Cole, he's bringing back the old days. He's redropping all his old mixtapes from the Dollar in the Dream era into Today in the new era. Meanwhile, Kendrick, he living his best life, figure ready to perform in the Super Bowl. You know, and hell, he's starting a tour and he performing in Toronto. So what Drake gonna do then? He gonna be in your hometown. So that's what I'm saying, man. This whole situation is sad, man, and I'll keep y'all updated with some more videos. Yes, sir. So y'all already know what's going on. This your boy AJ, Other Deep Thought, back at it again. Once again, I will leave the links down in the bottom of the description below of the videos, man. Also, if you want to support, all you got to do is hit that like button and the subscribe button. You dig me? Peace. One love.